Hi, and welcome to Not Just Talk Therapy Podcast. We are your hosts.
This is Leslie, a holistic psychotherapist.
And I'm Britany. I'm the girl next door.
Talk therapy is great, but we believe it's not enough. We examine the body, mind, and soul and challenge you to think differently, see things in a holistic way to approach and resolve life's challenges.
Join us for a fun and meaningful conversation and learn tips and insights on how to approach life's complex issues. We are so excited for you to tune in.
Hi everyone, this is Leslie and this is episode 7. I'm going to share 2 tips to help you feel better instantly, no matter what's going on in your life. My co-host Britany is moving this week, so we had to change things up a bit. We will return as a duo in episode 9 as we discuss fear versus courage. So stay tuned for that episode. And if you have not already listened to our personal story episode, I encourage you to do so. Mine is episode 2 and Britany's is episode 4. Britany and I have been teaching an online class called Mind Warriors for the past few months to people all over the U.S. It's been a fun experience. One of the most popular topics is anxiety, given what's happened this year in 2020. There's so much uncertainty, so much chaos and unknowns, and we've all had to adapt to our lives in so many ways. No matter what is going on in your life, when you aren't feeling great, you're stressed out, there's some level of anxiety going on. Today I'm going to share 2 tips to help you feel better instantly, and this can relate to whatever you're going through, something major or minor. These are different from tips that you can Google to feel better, like say, take a walk, play some music, hug a friend. These are all great tips, but this is something different and I believe more effective since it dives deeper. And as you know, if you listen to me from the past few episodes, I'm all about diving deep and getting to the root cause. Along with other tips that focus on what you can control, which is important, these tips dive inside of you to transform your body and your brain. I'm using neuroscience here, and there will be some jargon, but I'll explain it in a way that everyone can understand. So let's dive in. First, when you're stressed out or not feeling great or anxious, your autonomic nervous system is out of balance. What is your autonomic nervous system? Think of it like the control center of your body that regulates bodily functions such as body temperature, digestion, heart rate, hormones, blood pressure. It is made up of the sympathetic nervous system, which is also known as your fight, flight, or freeze response, and your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms down your body. The parasympathetic nervous system is the antidote for the sympathetic nervous system, and both of these systems serve a purpose. We were made for survival. Our bodies and brains were designed to help us survive. So when something appears to be a threat, the sympathetic nervous system turns on and you go into the fight, flight, or freeze response, and you start taking short breaths. So next time you're stressed out, whatever the scenario is, I want you to examine your breathing patterns. You're more than likely taking short breaths because your mind and body is stressed out. We don't think about our breath or breathing patterns. Most of the time, a lot of us live in this state of stress. So that means we're breathing short breaths all the time. And the more stressed out we are, the more we're living with the sympathetic nervous system turned on. And this is not good for the body, as the autonomic nervous system becomes out of balance. And when your autonomic nervous system is in balance, your bodily functions become imbalanced too. So your digestion may be off. Your hormones could be off. Maybe your blood pressure, your heart rates increase, and the list goes on and on. When we consciously start to take long, deep breaths, the limbic system in our brain thinks things are safe, things are okay, and then the limbic system turns on the parasympathetic nervous system and turns down the sympathetic nervous system, and your body and your brain start to feel calm and relaxed. And then the rest of your body falls in place, and your automatic nervous system rebalances itself. The reason why I bring this up is this. When we live in states of stress and we have an imbalanced autonomic nervous system, this heavily affects your emotional states. This affects your emotions. So our body produces less neurotransmitters such as dopamine, the pleasure chemical, serotonin, the happy chemical, oxytocin, the love and bonding chemical. No one wants less of those chemicals. We want more of them, right? In other words, the more stressed out we are, the more moody, down, sad, depressed, and frustrated we can feel. And there is a neurological reason why. So I want to help you feel better instantly by equalizing your autonomic nervous system. And the fastest way to do this is with your breath. You take 2 deep inhales from your nose and 1 deep exhale out of your mouth. Like this. Just listen to me. You go. I'll make a video and upload this to our website or YouTube so you can listen. So those of you listening can actually watch me do this. But let's do this together right now. I want you to take 2 deep inhales from your nose and 1 deep exhale out of your mouth. Okay, let's do this right now. I recommend you do this maybe 4 or 5 times, and immediately you'll feel better. Every time you did that, you take a deep breath, you're telling the limbic system in your brain to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system and calm your body down. So you can do this breathing technique anywhere, anytime. Anytime you're feeling angry, sad, depressed, down, stressed out, just stop and take 2 deep inhales from your nose and 1 big exhale out of your mouth. Now I know that doesn't control anything external. The stressful events may still be occurring, but internally, you'll feel a lot better than you did if you did not do this. And I do this breathing technique daily. The second tip is for you to be present. I know that's easier said than done because our brains are wired to focus on the future and ruminate over the past. We don't sit naturally in the state of presence. Our brain scans for threats, and we ruminate over negative things in the past and focus on what's wrong rather than what's right. This is unfortunately how we're wired, and it takes a lot of training and conditioning to wire your brain and your mind to focus on the positives and be present. There's so much that we subconsciously do that keeps us or can keep us in unpleasant states of being stressed out or staying in the anxiety cycle or being depressed. And a lot of it comes down to the future and the past, not the present. So our mind takes us in one of 2 directions: thoughts about the past or future. Worrying too much about the future causes anxiety, stress, worry, fear, and then ruminating too much over the past causes regret, pain, guilt, sadness, which is why I provide this simple tip for my clients who are struggling or facing challenging issues. I want to take them to the present moment because there are no negative emotions in the present moment. When they take a moment to just sit in the present, they have no problem, and you will feel the same way. Your mind will not wander into the past or the future, it's in the present. And the quickest, best way to do this is to use your 5 senses. So right now, let's do this together. Wherever you are, answer these questions inside your head as I ask them. What do you see right now? What do you hear right now? What do you smell right now? What do you feel right now? And what do you taste right now? When you answer those 5 questions, you are in the present moment. You use your senses and that force you to be present. You couldn't think about your to-do list, what he or she said. All you focus on were your senses. Britany and I practice yoga, and it's a powerful way to also force you to be in the present moment, especially when you're balancing or holding a difficult pose. You have to concentrate. You can't think about your grocery list or what you're going to cook for dinner or what happened last week. All you're focusing on is holding that pose. And being in the present moment calms the body down and sets us up for a peaceful emotional state. This is why this is important and ties back to tip number 1 on balancing the autonomic nervous system. We want to keep it as balanced as much as we possibly can. We can control us, not the outside world. And know and feel how powerful that is. That you can feel calmer and take control of how you feel amongst the craziness. It is possible. Now I'm realistic and understand this is temporary and will not solve all your problems, but it's a step in the right direction in reducing your stress and feeling a sense of peace. And if you do tip 1 and 2, you're telling your subconscious mind you're in control and that you are going to be okay. You got this. And this automatically calms your body down. I hope you found this helpful today. These are 2 quick, easy tips you can do anywhere, anytime to instantly feel better. So to recap, take long, deep breaths to equalize your autonomic nervous system and balance your body, brain, and emotions out so you can feel better. So 2 deep inhales from your nose and 1 deep exhale from your mouth. And then practice being in the present moment by using your 5 senses. This will instantly calm you down because your mind is no longer wandering to the past or the future. Thank you again for listening today, and reach out to us. Britany and I want to hear your thoughts and feedback. Let us know what you think of our podcast thus far, and tell us what topics you want to hear. We appreciate the feedback we've received already and are so grateful to have fans already. Thank you so much for your support. Remember, this podcast is for you, the listener, so feel free to reach out to us anytime.
Thank you for listening to today's show. If you love what you heard, please subscribe, write us a 5-star review on iTunes, and follow us on Instagram at mastering.your.mind.
You can find more information from the show on our show notes on our website, notjusttalktherapypodcast.com, all spelled out. And if you're interested in working with us one-on-one, our contact info is also on our website.
Thank you again, and see you on next week's episode.